What up, fellas? What's up? What I got going on here? I got a Honda Ruckus, and let me show you here. I got a Honda Ruckus, just the old Ruckus. Mojo Customs. They're bolt-on skinny mount. Brand new gy6 150 engine. I modified the throttle cable to work. It looks really close, but it'll work because whenever the bike is on the ground, the engine pivots down whenever you sit on the bike. So this stuff will all be freed up whenever the bike's got weight on it, the tire. So, but anyways, what we got going on here is I'm getting ready to wire it. I'm using the Honda Ruckus controls. As you can see, there's the controls, and here's the wiring for the stuff. There's the wiring. The Honda Ruckus controls. I removed all the other Honda Ruckus. There's no computer. There's nothing. No wiring from the Honda Ruckus other than them control switches up there. And what I got here is a gy6 150cc wiring harness I picked up off of the internet. I think I give $23 for it. And this harness is a two-piece harness, and as it comes with this second bundle of wires here, and it was supposed to be for a VIP, but it's not for a VIP because a VIP doesn't have all the separate little switches, you know. So I'm going to show you what you need to do basically in order to run a gy6 wiring harness on a Honda Ruckus. There's a few things you're going to have to do, and because your battery is in the front of the bike instead of midway, you know, like a regular scooter, and your fuel gauge, you know, your sending unit wires and so on. So, but anyway, I'm going to turn this thing around, and you know, we'll see what we can get going on here. Right on. Let me see if I can get this back on here. Goddamn phone. Right on. Alright. First off, I can go over these wire colors again. You know, I got another video that's the wire. This is the back of the harness. This is the fuel sending unit. You got a green ground, a yellow wire with a white stripe, and you got a blue wire with a white stripe. Those are for your fuel sending unit. And what we're going to do with those wires, we're going to open this harness up, and we're going to cut the ground wire loose in the back here, and then these other two wires, the blue and the yellow with the white stripes, we're going to pull this forward to the midway point on the bike so it can plug into the Honda Ruckus fuel sending unit. So we're going to move those wires, you know, to the midway point on the bike. That's only going to leave this plug here for your taillight assembly, or whatever you're running as a taillight. Your taillight wires on this harness. You got a green ground. You have a orange, which is your left turn signal. You got a light blue, which is the right turn signal. You got a brown wire. Sometimes, well, this one's just all brown. That brown wire is the running light, and the brake light is yellow wire with a green stripe. Right on. Now, the wiring in the mid portion of the harness is, hang on here. Okay, this is your coil wires. You got two wires here with two blade style connectors. You got a green ground, you got a yellow with a black stripe. That is your coil wire. And that wire goes from the CD, this goes from the, the coil into the harness, and it goes to the CDI. And if your bike has a tack, that wire also goes to the front of the bike, and it'll operate the tack most of the time. Now, if you're ever hooking up a tachometer and your tack doesn't work with that with the yellow wire with the black stripe, you can tap in to this wire right here, which is red with a white stripe. And what that is, it's your stator wires coming out of the bike. The stator wire is the pickup wire is blue with a white stripe. That blue with the white stripe connects to the red with the white stripe. That's the pickup wire. So if you're hooking up a tack and it will not work off the coil, the positive side of the coil, you want to tap into your pickup wire. It'll be blue with a white stripe before the stator plug, after the stator plug, red with a white stripe. And if you tap into that, your tack should work. That is, if it's not working with the positive side of the coil. Alright. Now, what we got here, this, what is that? Okay, this is the enricher wire. We have an enricher wire here. The enricher wire plugs in. It's just a plain yellow wire and a ground wire. That's for your carburetor enricher. Also on this harness, you got a 2-prong plug. It is a yellow with a green stripe, yellow with a red stripe. That is for your starter relay. And the starter relay, if you want to move it to the front of the bike, you can make these wires, you can open the harness, pull these wires to the front. But I don't do that. You know what I mean? It's silly to do all the extra work. I'm just going to find a spot. When people are shaving these Honda Ruckus frames, you shave off a bunch of shit. Well, I leave these the floorboard attachments on the back of the frame on the Ruckus. I don't shave those off. And I can mount my starter relay on either one of them, on the right or the left side. So, and then that makes your starter wire, to the relay short, and it works out great that way. CDI, same thing. Here's your CDI plug. You got 4 wires too. And your CDI wires. But anyway, that's those wires. Then halfway up the harness to where we're going to move the fuel sending unit wires, we got the wires for the battery. You got a positive, you got a negative. Well, we're going to, like I said, we're going to cut this harness open. We're going to pull these 2 wires all the way forward to the front of the harness. That way we can hook them to the battery inside the battery box. Now on this harness, you got your voltage regulator. It's a 5 wire voltage regulator. you have you got these multiple plugs here. This is your ignition plug. Green and black and white is for the kill switch. When you plug your ignition in, you know, green and black and white shuts the bike off when you turn the key off. You got black and red here. The red wire hooks to the battery. That's what the red wire comes up through the harness and it goes to here. So when you turn the key on, the red wire sends power to the black wire. So the black wire in this harness is keyed positive. The other video explains, you know, in pretty good detail, you know, what the wires are for and everything. And like I said, this has the extra deal here. This actually plugs in right here. You know, you got a plug right here to plug this in. Now, I will clean this up. There's a bunch of shit on this that I'm not going to be using and don't need, so I'll be cutting a lot of this stuff out. Like all these indicators, like the turn signal indicator, the bright headlight indicator, the running light for the front, you know, I won't need all of that shit. So I'll be cleaning all of that stuff out. Now on your switches up here, your control switches, the right hand side of the bike, there's three you know, that's for your control switches. You got a yellow with a red stripe and a green wire. That's your starting button. That's your start button. You got a black wire. That's the keyed positive. Now, this connects to a switch. This plug connects to a switch. When you flip the switch on, the keyed positive wire makes this brown wire hot. And that turns your tail light on and anything else that's in this harness that's run with the brown wire. It's through this switch right here. Now the other deal here is your headlight. You got a keyed positive. You have a keyed positive, so whenever you turn your headlight switch on, the keyed positive wire sends power to the brown wire, and it sends power. It's a brown wire with a white stripe. It sends power to that, and it also sends power to this dark green. Now that dark green wire goes over here to your headlights. So the dark green is the power for your headlights, the blue is the bright, the white is the dim. And then on your turn signals, you got gray, blue. The gray is the turn signal flash or power. It's the turn signal power wire. Then you got your blue, light blue is the right, orange is the left. And you have horn button here, keyed positive, purple, horn switch. You know, there's a shit ton of these harnesses, and they're all laid out a little bit fucking different, you know. And there's the other end of the wires for your horn, purple and green. They're blade style connectors on it. These harnesses are all laid out a little bit different, you know, but the wiring colors are pretty much standard across the board with gy6, 50cc, and 150cc. So, and it shouldn't matter if your bike's 50cc or 150cc. This harness will work on a 50 or a 150. So, you know, hopefully, you know, like I said, I'll make another video like I'll make another video. I'm going to be repinning. I'm going to be cleaning this up. And whenever I get to the point of where I'm going to be hooking the Honda controls up, I can tell you what color wires go to what color wires on the gy6 harness, so you can use your Honda ruckus controls. But I don't know, I probably left some shit out, but you know, if I did, I apologize. And I'm not gonna, sit here and, make you guys go through all the bullshit of me cutting this harness open and moving the wires physically and stuff. But that's basically what has to happen. On, like I said, a regular gy6 harness, that's what this is. The back of the harness, you have to move the fuel sending unit wires to the midway point of the bike. Everything else can stay where it is. Then when you get to the midway point of the bike with the fuel wires, you want to go on and open the harness up and pull the positive and negative for the battery. You want to move it to the front of the bike so you can hook it to the battery in the battery box. Right on? Alright, you guys have a good day.